Welcome to Cutting Edge, On Target. Now, a couple of years ago we decided to do some things with Cutting Edge as a television program. We're a little different than most people wanted to see on national television. So we picked out issues, ideas, things that nobody were talking about and tried to broach those. So at any rate, what we did is over that period of time we've done, this is our 4th show in the series. We're going to try to do something, again, a little different than what we've done in the past. We're honored today to have with us key members of the original Cutting Edge team. Some people that have made a real difference and made the Cutting Edge actually possible for these going on almost 10 years now. Congressman Bill Dannemeyer is without peer one of the great conservative voices and images of all time, and we were honored to have him assist us when we first started off with the Cutting Edge along with our other friend Bob Dornan. At any rate, we're honored to have the man himself here with us today to discuss some issues that you've heard a lot about, but they're going to be approached a little differently with these group of great people. The second person on the team is for this show is former Mayor Sandra Guinness from Costa Mesa, and she's been on the Cutting Edge On Target program one other time, and she did such a great job. We're having her back. And then, of course, there's Larry Gilbert, who has been our stalwart investigative reporter on numerous shows that we've done over the years, and so we're going to separate some issues that everybody's talking about right now. Right now, as we go into this 2008, it's a big deal. 2008 is a big thing for both the election and for the economy and the world economy. So we're going to be talking about some things you may have heard other people talk about, like Neil Cavuto or a variety of others, but we're going to be looking at it from a little different standpoint. So, on target today, in the crosshairs, and we're going to be joining back with the Cutting Edge in just 1 minute. Thank you. And we're back with the Cutting Edge, and here are our team members: Sandra Guinness, Bill Dannemeyer. You can say hello, Bill.
Hello.
Okay. All right.
Hello.
And investigative reporter Larry Gilbert.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. We're going to talk today about the world economy, about what's going on, and whether we have an economy or not. We'll mention people that are crazy like Ron Paul and see if they have any real meaning for this discussion or not. I'd ask you both, Congressman Dannemeyer and Mayor Guinness, to remove your glasses so people can see the true beauty of the issue here. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Mayor, why don't you start off the discussion about the world economy, about redlining in Orange County, California, or anything else you want to talk about?
Well, first off, you're talking about the economy, and I'm listening to the car radio, and they're saying unemployment's down, unemployment's up, inflation's up, everything's pretty much going down the tubes. But we can't change it because that would be bad for the economy. We have to fire all these people because otherwise it would be bad for the economy. And I don't understand, what is the economy? Is it GNP, GDP? Is it consumer prices? I really would like to define the economy because I don't really know what it is. It seems like for a lot of people it's what puts more in their pocket and too bad for everybody else.
Congressman Dannemeyer, what do you think?
What's the question?
What do you think of this, the discussion of the economy and whether it's valid?
See, they have a Band-Aid attached to the artery of the world economy, and it ain't going to stop the flow of blood that's taking place.
All right, let's be clear.
Anytime, let me just see, the history of civilization, governments, people, cultures, whenever any country goes down the road of backing the currency of that country without anything, they're destined to fail. And that's we severed the link between the dollar and gold in 1968 by an act of Congress. Ever since then, the dollar's been floating without any backing, and now it's got to the point where it takes probably $1.50 US to buy €1. That's not an accident.
But this is fiat currency, correct?
Fiat, yeah, it's just paper money.
But the issue that they will challenge you with, Congressman, is that they will say, well, guess what? Everybody's got fiat money. The Chinese have fiat money. The Euros as a fiat money. What difference does it make whether ours is a fiat money?
Well, it's the Swiss franc, I think, is backed by gold, and there are a few others that may be, but we Americans, many of are Christians. I'm one, and we have a difficult Christian people. We give the other guy the benefit of the doubt. For us to ever comprehend that there is a movement, a political force that's been in place for 225 years to destroy all governments and destroy all religions. That's what's going on in the world. That element is controlling it. And when they want to destroy all governments, they want to destroy the economy. And that's what they're doing right now.
Gilbert.
Well, you know, I wish I had bought gold when it was $35 an ounce.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's up around $1,000.
Yeah, right.
You know, we keep reading about the bailout, if you would, by the Fed of Bear Stearns. But look at all the people who are sitting on the sideline, possibly losing their homes for foreclosures. I spoke with a realtor in Mission Viejo yesterday, and we've got between 50 and 150 property owners about to lose their homes. So this economy is really in trouble. For some, it's a depression or a recession, and others.
But I would question, are they losing their homes? You have people who put zero down, interest-only loans.
Oh, don't qualify. Of course it's not their home.
It never was their home.
It was a realtor who was anxious to make a sale and let them get in with no money down, so they've got virtually no investment. So you're right,
so
Sandy.
it's not their home. I have to be honest, I do not feel sorry for these people. I mean, I'm one of those dumb people who never treated my house like an ATM, just kept making the payments. Boy, what a fool.
Yeah, but
I'm actually going to own my house pretty soon. What a fool.
Look how great this was for the building industry, though. Look at all the houses we could build and sell because these people didn't really qualify as those of us that bought our home 30 years ago had to qualify.
But it just created a balloon economy where it just kept pushing up the prices and pushing up the prices. And now the bailout, it's really not geared towards somebody who responsibly
let's key on something very important here. Very, very important. It used to be that we had, and I'm going to lean on the congressman here for this answer, we actually had a savings and loan type of economy many years ago. I don't know when that quit, but it was that classic story of It's a Wonderful Life with James Stewart, and Uncle Billy had stolen or lost the money, and they had to, and anyway, they were backed by all the people that wanted to build homes or buy homes were local community people. They took their money to the bank, they put it in the bank, and that bank lent that money to other homeowners in the communities, and they were able to build homes or borrow money and pay it back over the period of time. Problem is, in this fiat currency issue with derivatives and with hedge funds, what they would do is they would take, a bank would lend money and then turn right around and sell that debt as old debt to somebody else who sold it to somebody else who sold it to somebody else. So actually the people that have actually borrowed the money today don't even know who they owe it to.
Well, see, paper money issued by a government is supposed to have two values: a medium of exchange and the storehouse of value. When we severed the link between the dollar and gold in 1978 or 1968, it was no longer a storehouse of value. We let the inflation genie out of the bottle. You mentioned the savings and loan that used to exist. Well, when you're in the banking, but I've never been a banker. I've never had enough brains to be a banker, but I'm just a lawyer. If you when you borrow short, take money in short, that is payable on demand by the depositor, and lend it long, which we as a culture, banking industry, encourage the savings and loans to do. What happened? When the inflation, when you take in money at 3% interest or 4% interest and lend it out at 4 or 5, you make a living on the spread. But when that depositor is getting 3%, inflation comes along, he can take the money out of the savings and loan at 8 or 9. What do you think he does? He comes down to the savings loan, give him the money, he puts it out for 8 or 9, and the savings loan guy is stuck at money long term for 6%. That's why he went broke. And, you know, we did it to ourselves. And you won't find that explanation in the textbooks, but that's what happened.
Well,
actually, that happened to Orange County.
That
was the Orange County bankruptcy.
Yeah.
All over the money. All over the money. All over the money.
Well, that's going on as we speak right now. I mean, the interest rates are falling dramatically. And they were, what did they say? And you were around, I hate to...
Well, I'm the cause of all that, of course.
No, I'm just pointing out that after World War II, there was a real recession in this country, and I think interest rates were down to like 0.25%, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, the prime was.
Yeah, the prime interest rate was like 0.25% or something ridiculously low. And we, you know, and then people still couldn't get anything going. They had to, the government had to step in and to build I don't know, those boxy houses that we used to live in back in the 50s.
You learned something on Cutting Edge. Is that where priming the pump idea comes from?
I don't know this, but my point is that today, right now, the economy and what we look forward to after the November election is going to be what? I need you guys to sit there and tell me dark, light, or medium. You tell me, what do you think the economy is going to be doing at the end of 2008 and early 2009? Sandy, start off.
I am not hopeful. And part of it is that all the things that traditionally were supposed to be what you're supposed to do to help the economy, you know, save your money, you know, live within your means, well, everything's discouraged by that. If you have high inflation and low interest, obviously it makes no sense to save. And when you really think about it, the people, the big multinationals who can, they're going to shift their money around. And we don't have that. Remember years ago, you know, the business of America is business and those kinds of things, you know, Calvin Coolidge. Well, the problem is nowadays, maybe that has changed. Maybe that was true where you had American businesses who were vested in America. The problem is the bigger businesses, the banks, like the big bailout, it's not geared to the homeowner, it's geared to saving the rear ends of all the banks. These guys are not vested in the country, so they have no interest in making economic decisions that are good for
Let's
the United
hold on
States.
for a second. Let the Newport's finest go by. All right, go ahead.
So the problem is we have large corporations that are not vested. They're not, I wouldn't say they're evil, they're just doing what corporations do, you know, making money, but they're not really vested in the success or failure of the United States or the U.S. economy, whatever that is.
Well, that verges on something else that's very important, is the H-1B visas, where we go out and get Indians and Pakistanis and a variety of other individuals from all over the world, English, Irish, you start naming them, and we give them these H-1B visas because they have techniques or talents, so-called, that Americans don't have for jobs. So where does that fit into this whole process of sending our jobs overseas and then bringing people from overseas here to pay them for jobs that we can't find, so-called can't find people to do here?
Well, see, this you're talking about how long will it take for the New World Order to arise out of the economic chaos that's threatening in the face? Let me ask you this question, you three distinguished members of this panel, me excluded. What's the name of the President of the United States who first mentioned New World Order in a speech to we Americans?
Woodrow Wilson. No. Before that?
It was George Bush Sr.